All right. Welcome to this BoF session moderated by Samuel about the maintenance of curl. There you go.
Thank you, Nicholas. So yeah, during DebConf, we've realized we have all of the curl maintainers at the conference, and we decided to schedule some time to talk about the package, right? And then we realized it would be better to schedule something official in the agenda, so we can have a recording as well, right? So in the meeting, we have here Guilherme Puida, Sergio, I think the camera is showing everyone, right? And Saki. We're all part of the curl maintainers team, and that is the first topic of the agenda. Let me zoom in a bit more there. Sometime last year, we decided to create a team to maintain curl. Now, teams on Debian are not very formal, right? So effectively, what we wanted to convey is that anybody's free to contribute, and we put the package under the Debian org on Salsa, which any Debian developer can push to, and we changed the maintainer of the package to curl maintainers, which means that anybody can do an upload as a team upload, right? Some other recent changes we did, we reviewed all of the packaging patches we had on top of curl, and some of them were dropped. Some, I think we submitted some upstream as well. We added a build profile for GnuTLS, one for OpenSSL, so you can build a package with only one of those two TLS backends. Now, this is not really supported. This is more for testing purposes, but it is useful for us. We started enforcing the test results in the package. It wasn't enforced at all before Bookworm, so if a test fails today, the build will fail. We've enabled parallel tests with the, I wish Charles was here, maybe he's coming as well, but we've enabled the parallel tests with the recommended level of parallelization, let's say, which was 7 jobs per thread. That was a recommendation by Dan Henrique, who wrote support for that. And the latest upload, Charles decreased that value to, what was it, 4?
4, I think, yeah.
So 4 jobs per thread. And it seems like we're getting less false positives now. The tests are a bit less flaky, but we're not 100% sure because it has only been 2 builds since we made the change. And once we get some confirmation, we will forward that to the curl upstream. We've enabled HTTP 3, and by doing that, we had to change the backend to use GnuTLS for the curl CLI. So we still provide 2 libcurl libraries. The OpenSSL one, the libcurl with OpenSSL, libcurl with GnuTLS, and then the curl CLI is using the GnuTLS backend. And we started shipping wcurl, which is this very simple and neat shell POSIX shell script that lets you use curl as if it was wget. So we don't support anything fancy. There is basically, if you want to download something, maybe you don't have wget installed, you can call wcurl, and the URL is going to download that for you without any extra parameters. That's the point, right? Because you can do that with curl, but then you need to remember the parameters and all of that. So for upcoming changes, I think we have more, but the one I could remember was that Puida is working on running the Python tests for the at the build time, and you did find some issues, right? With, I believe, if you want to get the mic, it was something with the tarball, was it?
Yeah, on the previous version, a Python file wasn't included in the this tarball, but this is fixed in the latest curl upstream release. But I still have some problems actually making the test pass. There are some WebSocket failures and one OpenSSL related exit code mismatch that I'm still trying to figure out why it happens. But it's work in progress.
Perfect, yeah. This is interesting because maybe we're the only distro that tries to run that, if it wasn't in the tarball at all. Otherwise, someone would have noticed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And, it's very likely that Stefan and Daniel are watching this, so hello, I don't know which camera it's on. Stefan is the person who wrote the Python tests. So you might see something coming from us once we confirm workstation. Also, I wanted to put this note over here, so I'm extremely thankful for everyone who's running Debian testing and Debian stable, because they are spotting some issues on the GnuTLS change and reporting bugs. It's very important to have people doing that. Before we get into the topics where we can have like a proper discussion, so we also have Dima here at the conference. He was working with NASA for the project where Debian is going to the moon, and I'm speaking to him to see if we can get some sort of confirmation on whether or not curl will be there in the moon, which will be nice. It has already reached Mars. We have to get to the moon now. Right. So to discuss, feel free to interrupt me at any time if you want to say anything. Regarding the GnuTLS change, I believe, and I've told this to some of you already, we are having much less reported problems than I was expecting. So it is looking good, I think. I would say that so far we should be able to release in the next stable with this backend. Do you agree? How do you feel about it?
Yes.
Yeah. I've listed some of the bugs we've had there at the bottom. We can talk a bit more about them. The other important one was the HTTP 3 for stable backports. So Saki comes in that. Saki maintains the auto, I keep remembering as auto because I was watching the transitions for so long, the transition tracker. So it's NGTCP2 and NGHTTP3. And the transition is called auto NGTCP. So you just uploaded a new version of that, right, Saki?
Yeah, this week I did, but it was not a new OBI version. It's just a version
so
upgrade.
It's all good, yeah. And this package, these two packages are now under the curl team as well.
Yes,
right?
I put them on the curl team.
Yes. Do you have? So what I was thinking was that if we want to release this change in the next stable, it would be really nice if we could get it on stable backports now on this release cycle, so people could start testing on their production environments. It makes it easy for them to test that before doing the actual upgrade. And then hopefully we can spot issues. Mm-hmm. But now, then we have two issues by doing this, right? Yeah. Because these two packages, they tend to bump the ABI quite frequently.
Yes.
Right. And the other issue is that if we do that, Wireshark is not going to work together with curl. If you pull curl from backports and it pulls NGTCP, NGHTTP from backports, mm-hmm. Wireshark is still linked against the old one. You have to remove it, right?
Yeah.
Unless we also upload Wireshark. But then I'm not sure it's worth it. Mm-hmm. I think it's a fair compromise, right? To say...
also, the version in testing and stable backport should be the same. That's another issue. I think the queue it takes much longer that packages are going to land in stable backports now.
Right. Are you talking about the case where
yes.
there's an ABI change?
Yeah.
The package needs to go through new again.
Yes.
Yeah, and when we're doing a transition on backports now, which is interesting, right? I'm not sure how do the backports team feel about it, but it should be doable, I guess.
We have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have a lot of packages on backports. Yeah, I'll reach out to them and see. So let's say the backports team is fine with this. Yep. Are there anything that you're concerned about if we do this?
We have to involve the Wireshark maintainers maybe as well. Give them a heads up.
Yeah, let me take, sorry. Yeah, talk to backports team, talk to Wireshark maintainers. Yeah, anything else?
No, that's it.
Right. If we cannot do this, I guess it's going to be fine as well, but the risk is slightly higher that something doesn't work, and if that happens, it wouldn't be good. Right, so...
we can use Ubuntu as a like test bed for this as well, because there's been a recent merge of curl, and in October we're going to release a new Ubuntu. So that's also like something to keep an eye on.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's not an LTS release.
No.
So that is awesome. Perfect. Ubuntu 22.10 is releasing.
24.
Oh, I lost 2 years during COVID. It's releasing with these changes. Awesome. Anything else I might be missing here? No, yeah, we can get through the bugs later. Then wcurl. Have you heard about wcurl? Have you seen it?
I saw that you...
Just in the change logs that you will...
Right. Do you know what it is about already?
Not really.
All right,
really.
yeah. So it's this shell script that lets you use curl as if it was wget. So if you just want to download something, you can call wcurl in the URL without any parameters, and this script is gonna pick nice defaults for you. So follows redirects, encodes the white space in the URL so it works. It automatically decides what's the output file name, this sort of thing. And no fancy features, though, so we don't do recursive downloads like wget. So the point is just for very simple things, and the script is very simple. We started shipping that, and the reception was very interesting because, yeah, I did expect some people to like it, but I think it was more than what I expected, and also some people were really, really against it for some reason, and there was someone on Hacker News who said that I was causing untold misery for myself. I love that phrase, untold misery, and it was all fancily written, and I was like, oh, what you're talking about? Then suddenly, once we released this, we had to scramble, right, and quickly deal with some issues. So it did change quite a bit after we released, and now it's very stable, I think. Maybe the only change that we're going to see now is the decoding of the white spaces for the output file name, very likely. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you get feedback from Daniel Stenberg about it?
Yes. I went to Curl Up, the conference for Curl that was I believe in March. I got this T-shirt over there, and I asked around. So I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" And they said it was worth a try, basically, right? And they were fine with the name as well. I was really concerned about choosing a name without their approval, let's say, permission. Yeah. I did not ask them about wcurl specifically because at the time I was thinking about curl-d, but they were fine with curl-d. I assumed they would be fine with wcurl, and wcurl was a suggestion by Charles because we were discussing this, and turns out curl-d can sound like a demon. So, yeah, let's do wcurl. The script is very simple. So Daniel has said that they will wait a bit and consider adopting this as part of curl upstream. I think.
Cool.
I think this becomes really powerful if it's coming from curl upstream, because then everybody installs it, right? Right now, it's only Debian users. If you're taking care of multiple different OSs, you're not going to use it because you don't know if it's there or not. Some distros are shipping it already, but not all of them. And these distros are usually shipping it as a different package, where the real value of this, I believe, is that it comes installed with curl already. So you don't need to think if it's installed or not. You just use it. So yeah, the package is very stable. We've started getting contributions almost instantly from people. There's an interesting GitHub issue. So I'm hosting this on GitHub. We are hosting this on GitHub and Sasa. There's an interesting discussion about the choice of name. And some people were saying that wcurl, indeed, if you do wc and you hit tab, there's no auto-completion because wc is already a command. And some people are saying that it's hard to pronounce, which it is. Curl is hard to pronounce. I cannot get that right almost ever. And they were suggesting wtrl. What was it? That wrl, which is even worse to pronounce. But I enjoyed these discussions. I think it's nice. We are likely not going to change that at this point. It's dense. If we push HTTP 3 and back ports, wcurl will go together with it. I would like to have this on Debian stable as a proposed updates, this script. So I will suggest to the release team, eventually, still this year, if once we stabilize it even more, because I think the file name decoding is the only thing now that we are really missing. If anybody doesn't know, if the file name it has some characters that are percent encoded, like white space, the resulting file name will have that too, and we want to decode that. And also the default file name. There's no, if the URL doesn't contain a file name in it, curl will not do anything. It will error out. But they're working on it. Curl is working on it, so it should be fine. There was a merge request there. That's merge request number 4. It is this one. This merge request is, I don't remember what's the current state, but initially it was both choosing a default file name and it was doing the decoding. I don't remember how it was changed. This was 1 month ago. There's a conflict. All right. The main thing about this merge request is the way the decoding is done over here, which I have not had enough time to check, but it looks like it's decoding anything pretty much by using printf, right? Yeah, if it starts with %, then it asks printf to decode that. And I'm not sure about the risks involved in doing this, because then we are decoding anything and we need to start getting more careful about like path traversal, which is likely not an issue, but then we need to check. If we are doing this, we need to make sure we're covering all the bases there. And then I was wondering, maybe we should instead only decode white spaces. Then the downside is that it's not perfect. You still get some weird characters in the output file name. But white spaces is the most common use case for that, unless there's some other that are missing, but we can't have a set of them. Do you have any thoughts on this? You can get some time to think, like there's no rush as well. Yeah.
I think I would decode just some of the characters, like do a selection of the most common stuff, like space, maybe. I don't know if underscore is encoded.
It can be anything. So any character can be encoded like that, as per the URL standard. So, but the question is, what is usually encoded, right? Like you don't encode a regular character.
Yeah.
Like a letter, I mean, right?
Yeah, I would do a selection and only decode that because path traversal.
Yeah. Let's say we make sure there's no way there can be path traversal. Is there anything else that we might be missing here?
No.
What?
No, encoding no as %00.
Encoding no. All right. Yeah. Okay. And the other thing, this was also trying to choose a default file name, and I left some comments there because I believe, in my opinion, we should just let curl do it. They are already working on it. There is an open merge request for that, and it is better to let them do it, because then you have the same behavior. Now the downside is that it's not going to work for the older versions of curl.
Yes, I think this should be done by curl. If we want to do it, I would say like just Trell does it because he's using Trell there, and also we know that wget also does it. So yeah, this is messy, especially when done in a shell script. So we have to like first of all we have to check how other tools, like for example, like pass a null encoded and see how wget does it, like what happens, and then I'm not really concerned about path traversal here, but I understand that it may be a problem. So initially, I would say I would stick with what Charles said, and like the code only a subset of characters we know, and everything else we just ignore. And then if we really want, like, if we see that curl is not going to do it, I don't know. Are you aware of any discussions about like implementing this specific feature upstream?
I am not. The decoding,
Decoding part.
Maybe that is a good thing. We could ask them about it, right?
Yeah. If curl's not going to do it, so then we can expand this. But what I would really like to do, long-term plan is rewrite this in C and use libcurl. That's what I wanted to do when I started writing in POSIX shell, but unfortunately, like we don't have the time to sit down. I think rewriting C and use libcurl is the way to go here for this tool. And I think you would also make adoption easier by the curl project if we ever want them to just adopt wcurl.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is a very difficult discussion for me because we spoke about this, right? And it seems like there how can I say, there might be a need for both a shell script wrapper and a proper tool written in C, right? Both of them at the same time. I mean, there was some discussion on the curl upstream mainly where Dan Fendrich was talking about this.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, if it is a proper solution written in C, we could add fancy parameters. So we could have, because right now it has to be very simple. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to be simple, but if we choose not to be simple, then I think it's going to be very messy.
Oh yeah.
As we discussed, and I showed you like some examples of. So that is also one of the reasons when I look at that specific MR that you showed.
Yeah.
Like it's great, like it's doing a lot of stuff, but it's adding a lot of complexity that we don't have right now.
Yeah.
And as you said, like this was supposed to be just a wrapper on top of curl with sane options, and that's it. Yeah. And now it's becoming much more. So, and I guess that's why Ryan, who submitted the MR, he was a bit frustrated when we could not say like what we want for sure, because we're still like exploring things. So but yeah, like we have to decide, like do we want to be like just a wrapper on top of curl? Do we want to be like another thing on top of curl? They use this curl, but like provides a whole set of features that curl doesn't. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yes, we have a much better vision now of what it can be, right? So, for example, we know we don't want to make it complex, for sure. You want to say something?
Has there been a discussion with upstream about shell versus C already? Like, would they be more willing to adopt a C project than a shell project, or the other way around?
Do you know?
Are you talking about
I'm also
adopting
interested.
wcurl as well? Yeah. So we did not spoke directly, but Daniel mentioned that they're going to wait a bit, see how it goes, then possibly adopting wcurl as it is today. Then regarding the C implementation, another one of the curl developers mentioned that he had some ideas of writing a proper tool in C, and he was talking about how they could have fancy parameters for certain things, like let's say recursively downloading stuff.
I think another disadvantage of reimplementing wcurl in C is that you lose the possibility of just like downloading the shell script, even if your distribution doesn't package it. I don't know if we should be concerned about it, but it's like something that we should at least think about.
That is a good point. I think it is a good point. I think I saw someone mentioning maybe adding this on BusyBox or something, and they were saying that it would be easy because it is a shell script, if I understood correctly. But then what might happen is that the first generation of the tool is shell scripts. Once it is already widely used, then we come up with the new one. And it's good because we plan for this scenario. We try to be very careful, and so the parameters that we have for wcurl already, they will not conflict with whatever come up later, right? Because the only real parameter besides, so you have help version, and then you have a parameter that's called curl options, right? And this parameter is used to send whatever you want to curl, so it's a pass-through, and that means that you have full control over curl, and then if the tool changes over time, we are only introducing new parameters. So it's backwards compatible. Now, I know for sure I will not have time to do this. So it will only happen if someone else does it. if you do it, maybe, Sergio.
Okay, I can't promise, but yeah, it's been on my to-do list for just take a look at, for example, the C implementation. Like how hard would it be to convert it to C?
Yeah.
And maybe someday you'll see an MR for me. And yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
I would, in my opinion, I would wait until upstream does something. Maybe they are implementing it. Then you don't have to do double work.
Yeah. Yeah, we see. Maybe they give us some feedback after watching this. The other thing is that this is also using throw, right? And this also increases the complexity up to a level I wouldn't like to have, because it checks if it has throw installed, if it has uses. Otherwise, it uses some other code, and at that point, we can just use the other code and remove this difference in behavior of the thing. So yeah, I'll have to spend some time replying to this, but it seems like we are aligned with regards to these topics. And then we have some bugs. And sorry, go ahead.
Just a quick thing. I know that we're in the process of working on tests for wcurl.
Oh yeah.
So I know Guilherme wrote some tests. I don't remember if I reviewed your MR still. Probably not. Okay. So I'll take a look.
Yeah.
But he also worked on Python tests, right? Is it
for
correct?
curl?
No. Just I remember you you wrote some Python unit tests for wcurl integration tests. Yes.
So this is the one. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a draft merge requests. Yeah, we have.
Is still a draft? Okay. Okay. Good.
I just wanted some feedback before I wasted more time doing some more stuff. It's really not that much complex, but I thought doing it all in Python should be easier than wrangling the Python HTTP server and shell scripts. And curl already uses Python upstream to test, so I thought it was fine.
That's great. Yeah. Currently, we have our testing is a single bash script. Yeah.
Well, bash.
It's bash? SH.
It's SH.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's very simple. Gets the job done, but we need to, something better will be perfect. Thank you for working on that.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Just,
do interrupt me, because I will forget about a lot of things. And, the main thing, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, and I forgot. So, I think I end up doing a lot of uploads at the end of the day for a curl package, but I don't want to be seen as the main person behind the package, right? Because I wouldn't be able to do this at all by myself, for sure. So we're all equally in that regard. And the skills, you have skills that I don't have for this type of thing. It's very useful. So. Especially when we need to debug something, when we get together, we can make a lot of progress. All right, so some bugs. We have 10 minutes, I believe. 15. Because we have a little bit of extra time for questions. Some bugs here. I just saw this one, the build insanity. And so the first one we should talk about is the curl head request that is broken, unstable, only under certain servers, so we have not managed to identify what's the issue. You want to say something?
Yeah, we investigated the issue. I think the conclusion here is that we need upstream help because the investigation pointed to like a problem that we at least I don't know how to solve without spending a lot of time reading and understanding how other parts of the code work. So we need upstream help, and if they can help, great. If they can't, then I'm afraid like this is gonna. I don't know. There's not even a workaround, right? Yes. So.
Well, you disable HTTP too for the request.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Okay. So that's better then. Yeah. You may have seen the ping from the RT ticket that we have open.
Yes.
And they want to know, like, do we still need to keep this service?
Yeah.
For you guys, and I think we can tell them like just thank you, but and just you can disable. Yeah.
It has been some time now.
Yeah.
It's this is the commit that fixes the issue. And it's a big commit. It changes quite a few things. But then, I reported this to upstream a few months ago. And when I was writing the report, I realized this regression came back later. So I don't think it's going to be simple at all. Because I found a recent version that had the same regression again.
Okay. Is there an issue upstream about this?
Let me check. I don't remember if it's an issue or an email. Here, I requested help from upstream. That's my last reply to the bug report.
Okay.
And in here, it affects current to blah. Where do I talk about the other version? And I've just noticed that the latest release, which was 8.7.1, also outputs the error at the end.
Yeah.
See? And then it was fixed. It looks like the regression is partially back. Where
we need to open an upstream issue, and we need to officially point them like, hey, there's a problem here, and we need help.
So this is on upstream, the mailing list.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's good enough to track that. Maybe they don't have enough time to.
Yeah, I saw your email. I don't remember seeing any replies to it.
There was.
Okay, great.
But then it faded away.
Okay.
So there's nobody looking at it right now.
Okay.
I did notice that OpenSUSE has the same issue because they end up shipping a very similar version. So I reported to them.
Right.
Also no replies from SUSE.
Okay.
Then we have binary build patching insanity. We do have some interesting ways of dealing with the two builds of curl that we have, OpenSSL and GnuTLS, right? So we have two patches that we apply at the end of the build. Let me open up here. Debian patches series. So do not add patches below used to generate packages for the other crypto libraries. And the gist of it is that if you add any patch to series, it has to be above that, because in Debian rules, when we are building the package, at some point in time, we pop the last patch out, and then we build it again, and that becomes the OpenSSL, right? The OpenSSL build. With these patches, GnuTLS, pop it out, OpenSSL build. And someone added a patch there, and they struggled to realize what was the issue, I believe. So it does not affect Debian. There's no real effect, but we should change this. And he said that he was going to work on it, on this bug report. So we might see something. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bug reports for GnuTLS regressions that are pending. So Charles already took care of some of them with the latest uploads, the last 2 uploads. The first one, we have to follow up. I'm not sure it's a real bug. It was looking a bit weird because pkg-security should still be working with GnuTLS. So I think there's more to it. The second one, the second one is not related to the GnuTLS change. It's just that someone got tripped over curl not accepting URLs with spaces, white spaces in it. And I think that's something that was changed. I don't know when. I remember Daniel mentioned that in curl up. And this person is using a stable, if I remember correctly, let me see. So maybe sometime between stable, old stable and stable. Yeah, that's stable, deb12. For years, you see, for years the script ran fine, which contained a command like this. And it's very interesting because curl will reject URLs that contains white spaces. But if you pass the argument to ask it to follow redirects, and it receives a redirect or a redirect to somewhere with a white space, then it accepts it. So that was the compromise that they've made with this, I believe. But we have to check the discussions on the reasoning behind doing this and understand why they preferred it this way. There's nothing we can do here, right? Use wcurl. If you have to download something, that's something wcurl does. If you send it a URL with white spaces, it's going to encode it and it works. Then we have this one, X509 certificates that are not working. Charles replied to this one. And yeah, it's the one where we are asking for more details because the person said, we have 1 million extensions on top of the certificates.
Yeah, basically I wasn't able to reproduce it, and I asked the guy to provide something so we could try to reproduce, but he didn't reply, so...
Yeah, we're just waiting now.
Yeah.
And it could be that's...
This is not the one that we were investigating.
No, it's another one.
Okay.
Yeah. That one was fixed by, it was the stenographer or something?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Okay.
They
Sorry about that.
Another package. Yeah. That's important to say because when we made the switch to GnuTLS, I was expecting more problems, but some things related to certificates started popping up. I know, kind of different implementation. I mean, I think they should follow the same spec, but yeah, OpenSSL and GnuTLS do behave differently in some aspects. So
there's a spec and there's the interpretation of the spec.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's the same issue with the white spaces in URL. Yes. So OpenSSL accepted the certificate the way it was, and GnuTLS doesn't. So it is a regression. Our change caused this regression in behavior because of that. Whether it's right or wrong, it is a regression. So we should likely document that in the release notes. Document GnuTLS certificate issue in release notes. Do you remember what it was? It was the IP address.
Yeah.
Check with Charles.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, we'll check it later. Yeah, for this one, it could also be that we never get any reply in there. New release might fix the issue. We'll just never know. So this might be a bug that is going to stay there for long. We'll see. And the last one. Yeah, we're good. I think this is a real bug. I have not looked at it yet. I think I checked it on the plane coming here, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like a real bug.
Yeah, it should be very straightforward. They're saying that this option doesn't work. That's when you want curl to write out a certain property of your request, and they're saying that they spotted this regression. So I love this. People are actually using unstable and testing and reporting issues. And they come to us and they say, I think this is due to the GnuTLS change, which is awesome. And yeah, no replies.
Yeah, I have time today. I can look into it. If you,
awesome.
With you or anyway, if you don't have time, sure.
Yeah. I think in this case, as soon as we confirm it is a bug, we can just submit upstream, I believe. I believe the moment they look at this, the solution is going to be quite straightforward for them. That's what I believe, right? And this is not the first bug we have of this kind with -w. It happened in some other case, you remember? For the GnuTLS change.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact option, but yes, I do remember that it happened.
Yeah, it should be here, so it's -w. All the bugs. So size header and HTTP code is incompatible with -l. This was solved by you. You solved that.
Yes.
That is all. We have 3 minutes. Is there anything you'd like to discuss?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more tests on curl because, I mean, you showed the tracker page. We do have a lot of reverse dependencies doing tests using curl. But ideally, we should have a bit more testing on our side so we don't break things that often.
Yep.
So at least for like building with libcurl and yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have opinions on that or something? Because we just test upstream tests and we have a LDAP test, but nothing else.
I agree. Something we try to do when maintaining like the Ubuntu packages is like whenever there's a bug and there's a reproducer for the bug, and then we turn that reproducer into a test. So I know you have investigated some bugs recently.
I could do that.
Yeah, if there's a reproducer for that, and you think like, oh yeah, this could be a test, that would be amazing to add. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I just wanted to quickly mention that the FTP tests that are flaky are due to like a race condition in the FTP server used by tests. Upstream is like aware of the issue, but there's no activity on the GitHub issue that mentions this. I was planning to try to debug it, but I'm not good with Perl, so I got stuck.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's anything else? Last call. Okay. Then we are done. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Can you pass the mic?
Thanks a lot for this great session. It's nice to see such a lively and active team for a very key package in the distribution. So great work, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you.